Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I'm not going to be explaining anything about makeup. If you want to find out what products and music, it'll be in the description box. This is all about life after hyperemesis.
Drop it. Drop it.
So, I just want to say, life after hyperemesis it's not, obviously life has gotten better. I'm not sick anymore and I get to enjoy actually having a child and I don't have to worry about throwing up and stuff like that, but it did affect my body really bad. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of women when they are pregnant, they are prone to getting gallstones. And I believe if you guys seen my videos previously, I told you guys that I had a gallbladder issue when I was pregnant and they couldn't do surgery to remove it because it was a bit dangerous to do surgery on a pregnant woman at 17 weeks. So they didn't want to do it. And I struggled throughout the whole pregnancy. And then after, it really made me sad because I ended up getting my gallbladder removed about, I think, when Layla was, oh my god, she was a few months. So she was born in May and I had my gallbladder removed in August. So June, July, okay, she was like about 3 months actually. And I was still breastfeeding at that time while alternating with the bottle because I'll be honest, breastfeeding was so hard for me and I struggled so much. I don't know how much I cried doing it. But when I had my gallbladder removed, Layla could no, well, I honestly stopped producing milk because normally you have your gallbladder and you go home and you recover at home. But the issue is that the night I was gonna go home, they went to do my blood test to see how it was going, and I was in like this very weird pain, like something was wrong, like I didn't feel good, and I felt like I wanted to pass out. I was not feeling good at all, and so they did a blood test before I can leave the hospital and they found out that my liver enzymes were really high and that my liver was actually getting infected and it was failing, and I was so miserable. I was so sick. I felt like horrible. I felt so bad. And they ended up keeping me in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and in that time they were giving me this medication to sort of help my liver try to get it back to where it's supposed to be and stuff. And I didn't know that that medication would actually stop my breast milk. And to my luck, it did. It stopped my breast milk. And one day Matthew came to bring Layla to visit me, and sure enough, like, there was no milk coming out. And it was too hard for me to pump while I was in there because my scarring was a bit bigger than normal, because they had to get a few stones that had protruded like out of my gallbladder, and so they had to make it a little bigger, and so the stitching was like right under my breast and it hurt too much to even touch. So unfortunately that ruined that part of my, pregnancy, like not pregnancy but my motherhood. Like, breastfeeding got cut short for me and it made me super sad because Layla's like my one and only. I'm not gonna have that chance to do this again with someone else. So I was honestly really sad. Now, leading on to after that, I ended up developing something called sulfur burps. Now, this is probably going to be super gross, and if you are one who does not like things about throw up and whatever, this is not for you. But sulfur burps are one of the nastiest things I've ever experienced, and it came to the point where I could no longer still eat after pregnancy. I would find myself vomiting immediately the next morning because nothing would break down. Like, certain foods just wouldn't digest. My stomach was having the hardest time breaking anything down without my gallbladder. And honestly, the whole situation was just it was so sad and tiring. And I remember crying because I was like, I'm not pregnant anymore. I shouldn't be struggling anymore. But here I am, because all that vomiting and all that medication and all that really jacked up my body so bad that now, like, I'm trying to, like, recuperate, and my body's just, like, all messed up. And it took a long time for my body to get, or my stomach and my liver to get in the correct path. And I haven't had a sulfur burp in maybe 5 months. Crossing my fingers, because the last time I said that, you guys, last time I was like, wow, babe, I haven't had a sulfur burp in a long time, and I haven't puked in a long time. And sure enough, 2 days later, it happened. So cross my fingers, I didn't jinx myself. So, that is where I was with my stomach and my liver. That whole situation was like almost a whole year after giving birth. I dealt with that. And then my mouth also played a part into that. When I was pregnant, I got, okay, so when you vomit for months on end in a pregnancy, your teeth get affected really bad. One morning I woke up when I was like maybe 6 months pregnant, and my teeth and gums were covered in blisters, like big white bubbles all over, and I was so terrified. I went to I had to go to my OBGYN, because when you're pregnant, you need a paper from your OB, giving permission to the dentist to observe you and do stuff to your mouth when you're pregnant. So I had went, got the permission from my OB, and then I had went to my dentist, and they told me there was nothing they can do, because the medication that helps with that I can't take while pregnant, and they said that it would just get worse anyways, because the sores were from vomiting. The acid and the vomit were going into my gums and were basically decaying my gums. And this is why, like, now I'm so fragile when it comes to my teeth, because so much has affected my teeth, and it makes me sad, because I look in the mirror and I'm like, this was not where I wanted to be at 27. This is not how I wanted to look at 27. And I just, it just makes me sad when I think about it. But all I can do is really go forward with it. And honestly, recuperating from hyperemesis is still a struggle. It's been about to be 2 years in 1 month since I gave birth, because Layla's birthday is in 1 month and she's about to be 2, and I still can't seem to get hydrated enough. Water and me, ever since that time, I've never been hydrated. I don't know how much I've tried to drink water to, make up for 9 months of no water, and it seems to be like damn near impossible, you guys. I can get up. I could drink probably like 7 water bottles, and I'll wake up the next morning and I could hear my heartbeat in my ear, and I have heart palpitations, and I always feel really tired and like dehydrated all the time. And even though I've been trying my hardest to like drink as much water as possible, I can't seem to catch up. And it sucks, because I didn't have this issue until that time. Like, not drinking for my 9 months, and then your body being extremely dehydrated, and then still trying to recuperate after, you just can't seem to play catch up. And it's so weird how it happened. And it sucks, you guys, because I'm tired of feeling like I can't breathe, or I can't run, or I can't chase Layla, or I can't tickle her and play and have fun without getting tired really fast. And that really sucks. And I know there's a way around figuring out how to get back to that spot, but my pregnancy left me worse in my depression. It really has. And it's sad to say it, because this is like the best time, right? You finally have your baby, you get to enjoy this time. And don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying Layla so much. Like, I'm so happy to be a mom. But I will be so honest, I've been more depressed than I've ever been, because my dreams of having a big family was really cut short. And I know everybody's like, oh, you know, you had one, that should be fine. And it's not that. When you have dreams, when you have like a vision of how you saw your life, and then it got cut short by something that you have no control over. My dream was to have two, maybe three, but two, at least two kids, so that they can know the feeling of having a sibling. And unfortunately, no, that's not in my cards. I can't have another baby. Like, Layla's my one and only. And if I did have another baby, I would go through hyperemesis again. And my chances of surviving the next time, I don't know, you know? And I can't risk that now that I'm a mom. So there's a lot of things that's left me sad. But for the most part, you guys, I'm just still trying to learn how to be a mom and make the best of it. And honestly, I want to say that's really all that hyperemesis left me with. It's it was a hell of a ride. So I'm honestly just battling my depression. I feel like postpartum depression stayed with me, even though I did seek help and I got medication. I'm no longer, you know, I don't have insurance. I can't seek help right now. I don't have the means to seek help. So I'm battling this alone and on my own. Not alone because I have Matthew, but mentally it's a war. Getting up in the morning, it's a war. And then there's days where people always say things like, oh, have another one. Are you going to have another one? You should have another one. I don't know how many times I've had this conversation with people. You don't tell a random person, are you going to have more? Or you should have more without knowing if they can even have more. Like, fertility and pregnancy and family is such a touchy subject. Bringing it up randomly, it's not one I recommend. You know, when people tell me, oh, you made such a beautiful baby, imagine if you had a boy. I imagine that every day of my life. I imagine Layla having a sibling every day of my life. And I can't do it. And it breaks my heart that I can't do it. So these are things that I have to work through ever since being with hyperemesis and realizing that I can't have another. It's a battle, guys. And it's one that I have to wake up every day and try to conquer. And I'm trying my hardest for Layla. I'm trying my hardest to look towards makeup, to look towards my passion, to look towards the future, to a career. You know, I'm trying so hard to look at the brighter side of life. So right now, guys, I'm just trying to work on my teeth that got even worse. I'm trying to work on my depression. I'm trying to work on the brighter side of life. And I'm also trying to work on accepting that I will only be a family of three. Just me, Matthew, and Layla. And that my dreams were cut short because I was dealt with an unfair sickness that I could never be and will always get. And it sucks, you know? So honestly, that's where I'm left off. And I know a lot of people are like, geez, you shouldn't want another kid after hyperemesis. I understand. But at the same time, most people have normal pregnancies, and I just feel like I was robbed of that. So I still wanted that. I still wanted a normal pregnancy. So these are just some things that I'm still battling and learning how to overcome. I hope that answered your questions. If there was anything else, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys understand where I am at right now. If you were watching, honestly, it's my makeup. The look that I did in this video was honestly my everyday, plain old, basic, like, makeup look. Thank you all for wanting to know more. I appreciate you asking, and I'll see you in the next one.